everyone, myself Shweta. I am from D3 studying Ignite IAS. I am mainly saying about important topic privatization. About in notes making perspective because it is very important for mains answer writing. First of all, we need to understand why privatization is so much important because it is frequently in news. We all know that from past 2 years, the government is trying to privatize the Rashtriya Ispat Nigam Limited, which is popularly known as Visakhapatnam Steel Plant. So, in order to understand that particular issue, first of all, we need to know what is privatization and what is the background for privatization and what are the ways for privatization and advantages and disadvantages associated with it. And mainly we will discuss about main answer perspective only. First of all, privatization. Privatization means is a process of transferring of ownership rights from public sector to private sector. First of all, we need to know what is public sector. Public sector present in three forms. First was public sector undertakings. These are undertakings of the government of India. These are mainly ministerial undertakings. Examples, railways, posts, etc. And the government will also establish departments to handle these PSUs. And second one was statutory companies. These statutory companies will establish it by passing an act. For example, LIC. The powers and functions of these companies will be decided by the act and defined by the act itself. And these statutory companies will have more autonomy compared with the PSUs. And third one was public sector enterprises. These are established by Companies Act 2013. And the powers and functions are also defined in this act. And these companies are more powerful and more independent compared with the PSUs, public sector enterprises. These are established by Companies Act 2013. The powers and functions of these companies will be defined by the act itself. And these companies will have more autonomy and more powerful and more independent than public sector undertakings and statutory companies. So now we understand about the public sector and how the ownership will be transferred from public sector to private sector. We need to know about the ways. So now ways of privatization. There are two ways of privatization and disinvestment. What is the difference between privatization and disinvestment? This is a basic thing we need to know. First of all, privatization. It means by outright sale of government shares. Means even though after selling the shares, the government will own more than 50% of the shares. This is known as privatization. And next we need to know what is disinvestment. Disinvestment means selling some part of the equity to the private sector entities. Means even though after selling the public sector entities, the government will hold more than 50% of the shares. But we need to know what is the difference between disinvestment and strategic disinvestment. Strategic disinvestment means even after selling the government shares, the government will own more than 50% of the shares. This is the difference between the disinvestment and strategic disinvestment. Even we need to know the background of privatization, how it is evolved in India, is it still continuing, and what are the trends in privatization. These are very helpful to write an answer writing background for privatization. We already know that India went for privatization in historic reforms of 1991 known as New Economic Policy. India went privatization during that time. And even in 1991, Narasimhan Committee recommended for privatization. Narasimhan Committee recommended for privatization in banking sector. Narasimhan Committee said that even the government only will regulate the public sector banks and it only owns the banks. Here this leads to conflict of interest. So the Narasimhan Committee recommended that nearly 50% of public sector banks should be privatized. Next we need to understand about the trends of privatization of India. According to Economic Survey 2021, here we seeing that the impact of privatization is very high in India, and the private sector, the public sector companies which are privatized in India are performing very well compared with the remaining public sector companies. Here we can see that the privatization is increasing in India in a graph, and the net worth of the public sector companies which has privatized are also increasing. We need to know the advantages and disadvantages of privatization also. First of all, advantages of privatization. Privatization will attract FDI, means foreign direct investment. According to World Investment Report, India is 8th among world major FDI. And 2000 onwards, when new economic policy happened in India after 1991, the FDI is increased to 20 times as compared to before. This shows that privatization is one of the reasons for attracting FDI in India. And next was improving efficiency in public sector undertakings. Why only can privatization can improve efficiency? Does the government cannot improve efficiency? Means yes, the privatization will have more chances to increase efficiency, because in privatization there was no political interference, whereas there was political intervention rather than economic well-being in public sector companies. Means the political intervention will influence the public sector companies, whereas in private sector companies they are mainly based on profit motive. So they try to improve their efficiency and provide better services to the people. And next was improved infrastructure. According to World Bank report, Performance of Infrastructure Index, India ranked 44th place. It clearly shows that India is far behind developed countries in infrastructure. So privatization can help in building infrastructure projects in India, which can help us to reduce our logistic cost also. And next was motivated employees. We know that in private sector companies, they'll evaluate the employee performance, so the employee will get benefited and he is empowered to know more about the company and about the technology. They'll adopt the technology and provide better services compared with the public sector companies. As we already said that due to privatization, private companies will provide better services because they work mainly on profit motive. And next, revenue resource of the government. We need to know it properly. How the revenue resource will come to government due to privatization? It is simple. During financial year plan 2021, the government estimated that nearly 1.7 lakh crore will generate to India only due to privatization. It means that amount, nearly 1.7 lakh crore, can be helpful to reduce fiscal deficit, as we already know that fiscal deficit is very crucial to India, because according to FRBM Act, we try to reduce the fiscal deficit. So these amount can be used to reduce the fiscal deficit. And next, these are the advantages, and you need to quote the reports, details and some data in answer writing when you are writing about the answer or in mains answer writing. Next, disadvantages of privatization. First main disadvantages was create monopoly. Due to privatization, the private sector entities will become monopoly. Means they can hike prices. Due to hiking prices, the basic necessities also cannot be affordable to the poor. So it will create monopoly. And second was lack of accountability, means corruption. We think that due to privatization the corruption will decrease, but no. Due to privatization even the corruption will increase, because both the public and private sector will combine to do corruption. For example, we can see in Satyam scam, Harshad Mehta scandal and 2G Spectrum scam, we can see how the private sector bribed the government offices to do certain scams. And next, exploitation of poor. As we already said that privatization will create monopoly and it will lead to hike in prices. So hike in prices will definitely exploit the poor. According to multi-dimensional index, nearly India have 16% of people who are in multi-dimensional poor. So privatization will even leads to acute poverty, even leads to more poverty compared with public sector. Next, low valuation. It is one of the important point. Low valuation means, for example, we are getting the less amount than estimation. For example, there are some critics that the total value of assets of Visakhapatnam Steel Plant was nearly 1.5 lakh crore. But if the government will privatize the Visakhapatnam Steel Plant, some researchers are saying that it even not get 25% of its owned assets. So this leads to low valuation and low profits for the government. And next, essential services should not privatize. Yes, essential services here includes education, health. Education is one of our fundamental right. Article 21A, subclause A is saying about the right to education. So these essential services should not be privatized. And even DPSPs are also saying about the proper nutrition, proper health and education, even fundamental duties are also saying that. So these basic rights should not be privatized, because even the poor people can afford these things, and if the poor people can afford these things, it may helpful to reduce the poverty. Next, we need to know, I already said what is privatization and what are the ways of privatization and what is the background for privatization, what are the advantages and disadvantages. So I already said before, after knowing all things, we need to look into Visakhapatnam Steel Plant issue. Here the topic is not much important. We need to know if any particular question come, how to write in a proper way. So first of all, we need to know what are the reasons for it, and we have to note some points with data and some reports which highlights our answer and which forces us to get more marks. So come to the point, issues in Visakhapatnam Steel Plant privatization. So in Visakhapatnam Steel Plant privatization, I already said from the past 2 years the union government is trying to privatize the Visakhapatnam Steel Plant. As I already said that from past 2 years the union government is trying to privatize the Visakhapatnam Steel Plant. Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs gave an approval for 100% strategic disinvestment of Visakhapatnam Steel Plant. So what is the prime reason for the privatization of Visakhapatnam Steel Plant? The prime reason was this Visakhapatnam Steel Plant incurring huge losses from the past 3 years, about 3000 crores. So the government trying to privatize the Visakhapatnam Steel Plant. So what are the issues in it? Here the issues are, I already said that some critics are saying that even though the total value assets of Visakhapatnam Steel Plant was 1.5 lakh crore, but due to disinvestment it can't even get 25% of its shares or its value. So it will incur huge losses for the government. And other thing was, even though Visakhapatnam Steel Plant incurring losses before, but in 2021 Visakhapatnam Steel Plant incurred only 799 crores loss. It means it got reduced from 3000 crores to 789 crores. Means it estimates that the company is performing well, and it recorded a growth of 14%. So if we disinvestment the profit making company, it will be huge loss for the government. The company itself paying nearly 5000 crores to the government in form of tax. So it is beneficial for the government to run the company rather than privatization, and even the employees who are working in the company are paying taxes in indirect to the government. So another critic was that BSNL is one of the top losing company in India. It is related to one of the strategic sector, telecommunication, but in last 3 years it is incurring nearly 18,000 crores loss, but still the government want to revive it. They don't want to privatize the BSNL, but the government was trying to privatize the Visakhapatnam Steel Plant. Even telecommunication sector in today's is very competitive sector. So the government required huge expenditure in order to compare with the other telecommunication sector. Rather than reviving the telecommunication sector, it is better for the government to look after the Visakhapatnam Steel Plant rather than privatizing it. These are some of the critics. we discuss about the privatization, their issues and issues in the Vishaka steel plant. Now we need to know about the mains question and how we need to write about it. First of all, look into the mains question. Here mains question was, how far do you achieve the intended objectives, or does the government achieve the intended objectives, and how far does the government doesn't achieve the intended objectives. After writing that all, we need to suggest way forward measure also. In writing all this, we need to say some committee recommendations and we need to say some critiques as some government committee is saying that, and we need to highlight with some reports, data and some maps. It will fetch you more marks. This is about the mains answer writing perspective. As I already said that the issue is not very important. Here important is how can we use issue in examples. So we need to use these issues in examples. It will fetch you more marks. Thank you.